Day 9 of the Commission of Inquiry has just concluded with a full day of testimony. An emotional recollection of events surrounding the March 2, 2020 general and regional elections was given by Commissioner of the Guyana Elections Commission GECOM, Sace Gunraj, who was the lone testifier in today's proceedings. Gunraj recalled what transpired during a meeting of the Commission after the unconstitutional insertion of a spreadsheet as against the use of the comparative process of statements of polls or SOPs. During this meeting, of which Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield was present, a specific instruction was handed down from the level of the Commission.
The CEO sought to justify the use of the spreadsheets in place and instead of the statements of poll, and on the issue of, on the ground of expediency and efficiency. After extensive deliberation, and I would say terse discussions, it was agreed by the Commission that the use of spreadsheets would be discontinued and the established procedure of using statements of poll would be reverted to. A direct instruction was given to the CEO, who was part of the meeting, who was a part of the discussion, and who participated in the deliberation in coming to that decision.
When the process was stalled again after returning officer for District 4 Claremont Mingo had been rushed off in an ambulance, Gunraj said he brought to the attention of the CEO that there were 70 deputy returning officers or DROs who could complete the necessary tabulation process on behalf of the absent returning officer. The GECOM commissioner said Lowenfield refused.
There was a refusal of the CEO to utilize their services or to have them utilized to complete and to continue the tabulation process.
Do you recall whether he gave a reason for his refusal?
I believe I believe the reason he gave for his refusal was that he did not, he was not going to appoint a deputy RO, or he was not going to detail a deputy returning officer merely because of his presence, but he preferred to have someone of his choice.
Notwithstanding these developments, Mingo eventually returned and proceeded to make a fraudulent declaration on an elevated platform within the Ashmin's building. Gunraj recalled that he proceeded behind Mingo, telling him that the tabulation process must first be completed before a declaration can be made. As a commissioner of GECOM who sat on the apex of the agency, Gunraj said the returning officer paid him no mind and proceeded to continue in his attempt. Nevertheless, Gunraj said he persisted in his attempts to get Mingo to do the right thing. Then suddenly, he was blocked.
I followed him up the not working escalators onto the second floor, all the time impressing upon him the need to complete the statutory process of tabulation before he was able to make that declaration that he attempted to make moments before. I was prevented from going further by Roxanne Myers.
Gunraj also recounted the 5th of March when police officers in riot gear entered the Ashmin's building after an instruction was given that everyone must leave the building. He said he was in conversation with Assistant Commissioner of Police Edgar Thomas surrounding the safety of election materials such as the SOPs when a junior rank from the Tactical Services Unit approached and demanded that Thomas assist in clearing the building.
I don't recall his rank, but I am positive that his rank was lower than that of Assistant Commissioner, which was the rank held by Mr. Thomas. Came into the building dressed in uniform and told Mr. Thomas in a very harsh tone, "You have to clear the building."
Gunraj described Thomas's response to the disrespectful manner in which he was spoken to by another rank, saying that Thomas explained what he was doing with Gunraj. Shortly after, Gunraj said the rank returned and even more aggressively demanded that the more senior rank follow his instructions to clear the building. Almost coming to tears, Gunraj recounted what was said to him by the then Assistant Commissioner of Police.
He said to me, "Commissioner Gunraj, I can no longer guarantee your safety in this building. We should leave."
In the afternoon, Gunraj continued his testimony and informed the Commission of the events that took place after the recount exercise concluded in June, in which Lowenfield attempted to discard more than 300,000 votes. Furnished to the Commission were a number of documented letters between the chairperson of GCOM and Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield. According to Gunraj's testimony, Lowenfield continuously refused to provide the Commission with an accurate report of the number of votes cast and certified by the national recount process. At one point, Gunraj said, Lowenfield turned up to one of the Commission meetings and remained silent when asked how he arrived at the initial figures that purportedly gave the APNU-AFC the victory. On day 8, former counting agent for the PPPC, Charles Ramson Jr., testified before the Commission and relayed what he also saw as a vivid attempt to subvert the rule of law, particularly by Returning Officer Claremont Mingo, Chief Elections Officer Keith Lowenfield, and Deputy Chief Elections Officer Roxanne Myers. The Commission of Inquiry was set up by His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali to inquire into the events surrounding the March 2, 2020 general and regional elections.